its value skyrockets dramatically. And that brings us to another key factor in the multimillion-dollar valuation of certain 2000 punched mint mark, also known as RPM. And in the case of the 2006 penny, there are examples of coins from the Denver Mint showing signs of RPMs where the D appears to have been stamped more than once in slightly different locations, creating a shadow-like effect under magnification. And such repunched mint mark errors are highly desirable, especially when they are dramatic and well-defined, and even more fascinating are coins that exhibit what appears to be a floating mint mark, where the mint mark is so poorly placed or misaligned that it appears disconnected from the rest of the design, which further enhances its rarity and appeal. And when such an error combines with other mistakes like a double die or off-center strike, the value can be unprecedented, leading to auction sales and private trades that reach into the millions. Particularly when only a few examples are known to exist and are confirmed authentic. And all this leads to the undeniable truth that the 2006 penny is far from ordinary, with thousands of variations in existence, and only a few possessing the exact rare combination of errors, condition, and historical intrigue needed to command such astronomical value. And now you're probably wondering how you can tell if your 2006 penny is one of these rare gems. And the first step is always close inspection using a high-quality magnifying glass or microscope to check for signs of doubling, unusual shapes in the mint mark, misshapen edges, or discrepancies in weight and diameter. And if you spot anything unusual, it's worth having the coin evaluated by a professional or submitted to a trusted party grading service. Because that authentication is what ultimately values the coin's rarity and boosts its market value. And you may be asking, how many of these multi-million-dollar 2006 pennies are actually out there? And exact numbers are unknown due to the unpredictable nature of minting errors and the fact that many coins may still be sitting undiscovered in circulation or private collections. Estimates suggest only a handful of verified examples exist with the perfect storm of errors to justify a $5 million valuation, which makes the pursuit of this coin all thrilling. And the excitement is not just about the money. It's also about being part of history and holding in your hands a piece of America's minting legacy. A coin that defied the odds and emerged as a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. So don't overlook your pocket change, and always pay attention to those humble 1 cents, because among them could be a true treasure waiting around. And if you've made it this far, thank you for joining us on this incredible exploration into the world of the 2006 1-cent penny, its unexpected errors, its immense collectible value, and the thrilling possibilities that lie in every coin jar and cash register across the country. And we hope this journey has inspired you to take a closer look at your own coins and perhaps spark a new passion for numismatics, because after all, in the world of coin collecting, the next great discovery in plain sight, just waiting for someone like you to wreck its worth. Welcome, Channel Coins buyers, where history meets hidden treasure. If you're fascinated by rare coins, jaw-dropping values, and untold stories behind everyday pocket change, you're in the right place. So buckle up, because today we're diving into the incredible world of the 1967 United States 1-cent penny, a coin that, at first glance, appears to be just another Lincoln cent, but in reality, it can be worth up to $1 million under the right conditions due to its astonishing rarity, minting errors, and historical significance, making it one of the most sought after coins by collectors across the globe. Now, imagine holding a coin in your hand that's only supposed to be worth 1 cent, yet behind that tiny copper facade lies a fortune. And it all begins in the turbulent era of 1967, a year etched into American history not just for its civil rights movements, the Vietnam War protests, or the Summer of Love, but also for the fact that it marked a unique and transitional period in United States coin production. In this specific year, the United States Mint was under immense pressure, dealing with nationwide coin shortages and a series of legislative changes that affected how coins were produced, one of which was the removal of mint marks on all coins, meaning that for the years 1965, 1966, and 1967, the U.S. Mint decided to strike all coins without mint marks to deter coin hoarding and speculation, which had become rampant due to rising silver prices. and while this might seem like a simple administrative move, it set the stage for a number of unintended and highly valuable minting errors, and that's where our 1967 penny story begins, because among the billions of pennies struck that year, estimated to be more than 3 billion across various facilities like Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, there were a very small handful of specimens that somehow escaped the mint's strict no-mint mark policy and either or even clearly defined mint marks, possibly due to reused dies from previous years or early experimental strikes during transition periods, and such specimens are now considered astonishingly rare by numismatists. But what elevates their worth astronomically is not just the presence of a mint mark but the accompanying errors that occurred during the striking process. These errors include off-center strikes, double die obverse, DDR, die cracks, planchet errors, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and even transitional errors involving composition, because while the official 1967 penny was made from a copper-based alloy, 95% copper and 5% zinc, there are rumors and confirmed cases of transitional planchets being used accidentally, including coins struck on leftover silver or steel planchets from earlier periods or foreign coin blanks, making them extremely rare and fetching astronomical prices when authenticated by major grading services such as PCGS and NGC. And let's not forget the fact that most of these errors weren't caught at the time due to the overwhelming volume of coins being produced and the limited quality control resources available, meaning these coins slipped into general circulation. And this brings us to the true magic of coin collecting: ordinary people discovering extraordinary coins in pocket change, inherited collections, or old coin jars sitting in their garage. What they held was a numismatic gem worth thousands, or even $1 million, and one such documented case includes a 19 strike combined with a doubled verse and a faint mint mark-like impression, which after being authenticated and graded as mint state by PCGS, sold for it. And experts believe that if a coin with the right combination of multiple high-value errors, uncirculated condition, and historical anomaly like a mint mark exists, especially if it can be verified as a transitional or experimental strike, it could realistically fetch up to or even over $1 million given the right market and collector demand. And what's even more, they're still out there, waiting to be discovered, since 1967 was not a year when proof sets were issued for public sale due to the ongoing mint mark moratorium and experimental adjustments, which means fewer high-quality coins were preserved, thus making mint state 1907 pennies with errors even more scarce and valuable. And to identify one of these rare pennies, collectors need to pay close attention to the weight, diameter, surface detail, and edge quality, and use a high magnification loupe or microscope to look for signs of doubling on the lettering or date, evidence of an off-center strike, or irregularities near the rim or Lincoln's profile, and of course, the rarest clue of all, a mint mark impression. And even more elusive are the shadow or ghost impressions that result from die polishing or overused dies. That traces of earlier mint marks, all of which require a keen eye, expert validation, and sometimes scanning for composition verification, and once identified, these coins can be submitted to professional graders who assign them designations like MS65, MS66, or even higher, dramatically increasing their market value. Especially when they come with the coveted red RD designation, indicating full original color and luster, and when listed at high profile auctions or numismatic expos, they attract aggressive bidding wars from elite collectors and investors who understand the rarity, historical importance, and future appreciation potential of such a specimen. And while not every 1967 penny, the truth is that hundreds of thousands of these coins are still being overlooked by people who simply don't know what to look for, which is why it's so important to educate yourself on coin errors, minting history, and the quirks of each production year. And the 1967 penny is a perfect example of how a convergence of circumstances, legislative changes, minting pressure, transitional dies, and a lack of proof-set documentation, created the perfect storm for numismatic anomalies, which today are commanding unprecedented values. And just to reiterate how real this is, multiple listings on auction platforms like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections have documented verified 1967 pennies with single or combined errors selling for amounts ranging from $5,000 to $250,000, and experts agree that a unique specimen with bold mint mark could easily command a million tag, especially if it's the only known example or one of a few ever discovered. Make a penny not just a collectible but a dream find that embodies the excitement, strategy, and historical richness of coin collecting, so the next time you come across a 1967 penny, don't toss it aside, inspect it, examine the date and all the fine details, and if you notice anything unusual, get it verified, because you could treasure that turns your 1 cent into how history and human error combined can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. If you found the dive into the 1967 penny fascinating, make sure to like because we've got more incredible stories coming your way that could help you cover gems in your own pocket change or credible stories of unexpected fortune. And today we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing and mind-blowing one United States one with a face value of merely one price tag of up to